for me today? Anything? Any question?
Mr. Gata, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Koji.
How is the election night? Anyways, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
I don't know at what point should we configure the manager? And
You can configure it while installing Golden Gate, right? Or if you want to, after. It's up to you.
and could you throw more light on the log mining? I really didn't get it.
What do you understand the log miner then? What do you understand on it first?
What do I understand on it? I understand like it's a database. It's actually an extra server configured in the classic configuration. No, not the classic. Yeah, it's probably the classic configuration where the extra process send the transaction log, and then from that's the extra processing the transaction log to the log miner, and the log miner now send it to the remote server, so the remote log, to the remote trail. But it's a little bit confusing. Like, at what point does the log, like the role of the log miner? I really don't get it. Like, is it a database or is it a process, or excuse me, is it a server or is it a process?
It's a tool. Okay, log miner is a tool, or I can also say it's a tool, or you can take it. Not, I don't want to say it's a process. It's like a tool that runs in the database. So you enable it, and it runs, and it mines for you. Okay, so what happens is the log miner now is the one that will capture the data for you, not the extract. But what happens is it helps to speed up the capture process. Okay, so it's a piece of software that will be running. We capture quicker. It's quick. It's faster than than what the log writer will do, because the log writer normally is supposed to write, committed redo to log files before the extra process can capture and send it to the local thread. What happens is with the log miner now we identify the committed record itself, capture them, transform, and send to the extract. That's the only difference, because now the log miner will take care of that. It resides in the memory, so we can easily identify which record has been committed. And once it captures the record, it transforms it into a different format, okay, lighter than the regular transaction logs, and send it to the extract process. Okay, so the extract process will no longer capture transaction logs from the online redo or archive logs. There's someone who is taking care of that now. That's the log miner, and it runs in the database itself.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Just a follow-up question. Is it in a classical configuration or
Integrated.
Okay, integrated.
Yeah, in the classic, the extra capture is integrated. That's when you start talking about log miner, integrated capture.
So which one is the default configuration?
Classic. Okay, when you guys will configure classic is the default one. You can switch to integrated by upgrading the extra. Yes, but the default one is classic.
Classic, where we have the pump process.
No, maybe integrated we still have the pump process.
Okay. I have to take a little bit of time for me to get used to those terms. Thank you, sir.
All right. Canada, can you allow me to share, please?
Okay.
Thanks. I'm still not able to share my screen. I don't know why.
Okay, you're good now.
All right. I think I'm good. Thanks. Mr. Koji, this is the architecture of integrated. Integrated, the only difference is that this guy, extract, is no longer capturing, okay, the data. The remaining part is the same. Nothing will change. The only difference is that this extract is no longer capture redo a transaction loss straight from the online redo. You have a log miner. When you enable integrated, automatically the log miner runs. And the log miner now is the one to take care of that. So that's the difference is only at this level. The other area are still functioning. You still have the pump process, everything else, as you know. All right, so that is the only difference. That's why in the log miner is just for the capture, only at the capture level, where the remaining part is still the same. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Any other question? All right. So if there's no question, okay. I did not have enough time yesterday night to configure Golden Gate because I wanted to do that in order to navigate. I don't know if there's a group here that started with the configuration, even if it's not working. I don't know if there's a group here that started with the configuration.
Yeah.
Is there a group here that started the configuration?
We're still researching on it.
Okay. So I have a group that started in the morning. I use their server in order to show you how to navigate in Golden Gate. Okay. Not and what a brief overview of how it works, management of Golden Gate from the command line, and some important directories. Okay. I know last time I just theoretically explained some of them, but I want to show you exactly where they are today. And also, yeah, some few commands that can help you. So I'm going to introduce Rack next week, Friday. So I will recommend you guys to on working either next week Friday, depending on how. No, maybe next week is dedicated for Golden Gate, and the following week I will introduce Rack. Okay, so one is requested for permission. Okay, so all permission granted. Okay, right. I will use this student server, okay? It's one of yours. I want to use that server to navigate, okay? Say that I can navigate. So, this is the server, and validate where this software has been installed. I want to know so for this student, for instance, this is all the software she installed, and this is where the Golden Gate reside. Another person can just, where that Golden Gate is installed. Just grep MGR, right? Manager, and you can know from there Golden Gate home. Okay. So the Golden Gate home, is optional. She decided to install here. Okay. You guys can install wherever you want. Just make sure that the mount point has enough space. Okay. So in order to navigate on Golden Gate, you should make sure that you are in the right environment. Okay. Environment variable, right? Are you on 11G or on 12C? Okay. This Golden Gate has been installed for which particular software? Is it 11G or 12C? So I think for you guys choose 12C because I said that this project are supposed. So for that, you need to make sure that you set the environment, to Oracle 12C. Okay. So yeah, so you make sure you're on 12C first before anything. Okay. So we're on 12C. Now we can navigate easily. Otherwise, you won't be able to connect to Golden Gate. For those who try, who even watch videos or document, when you call the graphical user interface of Golden Gate, it will ask you in which environment you want to install, 11G or 12C. So that's why if you guys choose 12C, you need to set the environment variable to 12C first before you try to log into Golden Gate. Okay? Maybe I will try not to do this, and you guys will see the error you may encounter. Okay? So what I want to do is just to show you some directories, some critical one, not all of them, okay? So when you get to the Golden Gate home, all right, you should have a lot of directories, a lot of files. Some of them I know, some of them I don't, because I put them just for a few scenarios. But the one I will talk about today are the critical one, the one you need. okay, even at work or even here, a student, even to get a job, you should know those one, okay? You should know those, the file or directory I will talk about today. So imagine. Okay, let me mute everyone first. So what happened is that at some point during the installation, you guys will create what we call subdirectories. Okay, because when you install Golden Gate, it doesn't come with certain directories. There are some directories that you need to run some script in order to get them. We call those directories subdirectories. Okay, there are also some scripts. When you guys will go through your steps, you will see that there are some scripts you guys will run in order to enable GGL and other stuff. You guys will run GGL setup. You guys will run a lot of script, whatever. You guys can open those scripts and see what they do. All right. But that is part of the configuration. Okay. So you guys can we see all those stuff. You guys will also run DJ enable and so on. So we start first with the directories. Some of them. I don't know some of them. I know some of them. So I will tell you guys what I know and what is important for me. Okay. You can also investigate on other directories. Okay. It's also fine. So the first directory I talk about, the one I mentioned on the PowerPoint, is the directory check, okay? And I was saying that every single process has a checkpoint file it reads from in order to know where it stopped, okay? So you can, okay, let me tell you something first. This person configuration was not perfect. I think she worked on it, she just worked on it again, okay? That's why I can see. Just created this one. It's more recent. She just work on it. Okay. But and also this one, she just work on it again. So I was telling you guys that this directory is actually where we find the checkpoint file for each process. You know, on the architecture, okay, it's just nice just to say that the extra will capture right, the POM will capture right, and so on, right? But how will the extract know where it stopped capturing in case it goes down or it fell for any reason? If you bring back the extract up, where will the extract start from? So this checkpoint file is what allows the extract to know where it stopped. So this is checkpoint extract. E is extract. Okay. For all this one I don't know why it's here. Why? But this one is checkpoint extract. Okay. If you go to the target, you also see, okay, this one is for the write, this one is for the read. So because you should have two files, right? You should have two files. The file available, once it read, there should be a checkpoint file, and once it writes, there should be a checkpoint file. Okay. So, and the difference is the checkpoint lag. So these files are very important. Okay. This student created two POM process. Please, it's a mistake. Okay. Yeah, I think she created it she has a reason behind, because she was troubleshooting this, it was not working, and she created a second one. All right. But whenever you get to this directory, whatever file you see there are checkpoint files. Okay. That is what each process uses to keep track of, you know, where the last transaction log it captured, or the last transaction log it wrote to the local thread or remote thread. So by deleting this file, you are crashing, you are messing up your Golden Gate environment. Simply because if you delete the checkpoint file, how will the extra process know where it stopped capturing? Okay, so you should not delete it. So it's a critical directory, and sometimes this stuff will be encrypted. And security reason, not everyone will have access to the Golden Gate home. So for you to have access to the Golden Gate home, you should belong to Oracle Group. I think I made mention of that when I was talking about some prerequisite while installing Oracle Golden Gate. So, and these are very critical directories. Directory check. This is another directory credential. Okay, I talked about security the last time, security. And I said that one of the security measure is credential store. If you want to encrypt, you know, your credential, you don't want to expose, okay, user's credential, username and password. You may need to So you can use this an option, you know, to encrypt. Let me take an example, okay? I will come back to this. But let me take an example by going straight first to the directory parameter. Let's take an example. Let's assume I go to the directory parameter. This is where we have the parameter file of every single process, because in Golden Gate, each process has its own parameter. So the manager, you have a parameter file, the extra, you have a parameter file, the POM, you have a parameter file. All right, so this one should not be here, okay? Agent, this is what helps, you know, you to connect to OEM using Golden Gate, to monitor Golden Gate from OEM, the agent. So it's not useful for you guys now. It's on. So let's assume this is the parameter file, okay, of the manager, the parameter for the extract, the parameter for the POM. Okay, let me cut, for instance, okay, I want to explain why we need a directory, why this directory or this directory are important. We have directory, no, let's take this one only, CRG, all right? So let's assume that I want to see the parameter file of the extract, okay? That will not be perfect. So I don't want people just to see, capture, and just do the same thing. So let's assume I want to cut. So you can see the parameter file of the extract, okay? You see here that we are exposing the credential of the user. You are putting username, user ID, you put the password. It means that if someone is able to steal my credential and he or she can access my Golden Gate home, the person will be able to see the user credential. And you guys, while configuring, will notice that you will grant some critical privileges to this user, like GBA privilege. That means that if I'm able to have these credentials, I can access the database and do whatever I want. So it's very, very dangerous. You will never see this in a real environment. Even in the test database, you will not see this. Not just production, but test, you will not see this, okay? We are doing this just for, you know, practice purpose, right? So what happened is that these credential, you can decide to encrypt them, right? And I think this lady, she tried to implement it, credential store, and I think she implemented it on the manager parameter file. Yes, she implemented credential store here. So you see here that she used aliases. With aliases, we'll create an alias, but behind this alias, we have the username and the password. So if you have the alias, you don't know where you have the credential, the key, you can't have the credential. I think I send you guys URL in order for you to try, and I recommend you guys to try using encryption, okay, credential store encryption. So that is what this directory stores. It stores those credentials, and if you pay attention, if I list that, it because it's a wallet. Okay. That's what this directory is for. So by default is here, okay? By default, whenever you are trying to enable credential store, by default, okay, it is looks like this. That's where the wallet is stored. It also goes with this directory. This directory is where the wallet and the password, okay, the wallet and master key, that is to encrypt data at rest, is stored in this directory. So if you enable wallet and master key encryption on Golden Gate, you'll be stored here, all right? Directory wallet by default, because these are default location. If you want to customize, you want to specify a different location, then you guys will hear of the global file. This file is the file you can use to change the default configuration you have. What does it mean by that? If by default the data, the file have to go to this location and you want to point into a different location, the globals is for that. Anything you want to change, you want to update the default configuration, you can do that from the globals. Okay, it can be security or anything else. Globals is where you can update or you can change the default configuration. So the next directory after the directory credential, which is used for credential store security reason, the next one is directory data. This directory is where you have the thread file, okay? If I'm on the source, it means I'm expected to see local thread. So the local thread, on the source we have local thread, on the target we have remote thread, right? So I'm talking about unidirectional. So since that is the assignment. So it means that on this in this directory, I should be able to find my thread file. So if I'm curious enough and I just ls, I put that deal that directory data, I should see the thread file there. Okay. But there is something wrong with her, okay? On 12C, we should have 8 characters, 9, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she had some mistake. She made some mistake, okay, earlier. So I told her that this one cannot work. So, and these are the thread file. This is the thread file. Normally, it should be, you see here on the extract parameter file, you pay attention to this, okay? Somewhere you should specify S-thread. And S-thread means where the local thread, that's where the extract will be writing to. So when the extract captures, it has to write somewhere. That's what we call the S-thread. And in that scenario now, that is to specify at some point the location where you want the thread to go, and you put the initials, 2 characters, and it's optional. You can put whatever character you want. She choose AA, you can put whatever character you want. Make sure you put 2 initials. So what happened is, since in Oracle Golden Gate 12C, we have the total of 9 characters, normally you should be able to see AA000, at the end you have 1. Once that size is reached, it moves to the next sequence, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So she doesn't have such a scenario here. It means that the extract is not doing its job. But the first local thread should be 00000 whatever, and at the end you have 1. The second one 00000, at the end you have 2, and so on. And each of them have a size. You can specify the size of the the thread of each thread file while you are creating the extract. So if you want to, you can put in megabyte, but the maximum is 1 gigabyte by default. So I was saying that the directory data is where you find thread file. Okay, so and those thread files are the one you encrypt using wallet and master key. Right? You can encrypt those 12 files so that if someone gets them, the person will not understand without having a key. If he or she doesn't have the key. Okay, so that is what is the deal that you guys should know that. I don't know this one, the directory definition, I don't know. Directory DOM, I don't know. So what I will jump to this one. Directory process. I think it's process status. So this file is what can help you to see the status of a process at the OS level without having to log into Golden Gate. Okay, and this directory also is for each process. You have a process file that you see here: process extract, process manager, process extract. Because the pump process is another form of extract. So you want to know some details about the extract, you can just start. You see that the process ID is here. We give you the process ID and the process name, right? What is important is that having the process ID can allow you to get more details. You just grab the process ID and it gives you some details. It gives you the home where the extract is running, the parameter file where it's located, the report file, and the user ID. So it can help you to give you detail. So the directory, this directory can help you to provide for each process, right? You can see the process status, its report file, its parameter file at the OS level. The next directory is the directory parameter, is what I said. Each process, you guys will configure the parameter file for each process, and that will reside on this location. okay, by default. You can change it if you want to change it, the global files. So this parameter, okay, as I said, right? This again. Let me, okay. So okay, so list again what is inside. And if we see the extra parameter file, this is what is inside parameter file. You can have more, okay? This is quite basic. In your parameter file, you should have the process name, okay? Here, she did not encrypt it, but this is how what you guys will have. The user ID, okay? You put the username. Okay, I don't want to correct it or say right or wrong. I just want to explain what is inside here, okay? So the password, the extra is the local thread. You want to duplicate TTL as well. And the table she wants to replicate is hr.test, okay? If you have multiple table, you have more to put another row below. You put table, you put the table name, okay? So that is the basic extra parameter file, okay? And so the extra we capture, and the extra we go and write it under this location. Okay, for the manager, okay, for the pump, okay? The pump process, you have also, I told you guys that the pump process is another form of extract. So it's totally normal to see extract here. Because the pump process is extracting, right? But the difference is that the pump process is not extracting from the database, it's extracting from a local. You can see here that you specify also the user ID password. And you can see here that there's a difference, right? Somewhere she put S-trail and somewhere here I see RMT trail, which stands for remote trail. So what does it mean? What is it used for? They remember from this architecture, the pump process is reading from this file and the process will be writing to a remote location. So that means the pump process has to cross the network and send to the collector, which then will write it to the remote trail. It means that I need to specify, right, the remote trail location. Okay, so this is the remote host first. The remote host is the target host, so the target server. That's why the target server is different from the student number, because this is where the target is located. And very important, the manager port. This port is the target manager port. The manager port of this one, not this one. Because the pump process is this on this side, on the source. So in order for the pump process to access the target server, it needs to have the manager port of the target server, which could be different from the manager port of the source. Make sure the port you are using on the pump process parameter file is equal to the manager port of the target server. So that's what is here. I don't know if it's correct for her. I did not know. Wanted to troubleshoot her issue because they want to present and they still need more they have more to do. And also specify the remote trail. The remote trail, is this one, remote trail, right? So it means that the location you are specifying here is the Golden Gate home of the target server. If you configure the Golden Gate home on the target different from the one on the source, make sure the one you specify here is equal to the Golden Gate home on the target. Okay, and you can put it under the directory data of the target, and you put the initials of that remote trail. The initial you see here is different from the initial of the source. It's just to differentiate them. It can be the same, but because we want to differentiate them, for the local trail she use AA, for the remote trail she use AB, which is fine. And DDL include all, and also she specified the table as well. You did not specify another one, a parameter, she removed it, I don't know why. There's a parameter called pass through that you guys will see, and you can have it here. So that pass through just means that you want the process to take the data and send it as it is without changing anything. So that is whenever you don't want to transform the data. Okay, let's assume you want to send the data, both the sort and target have the same structure, and you want the data written here by the extract to be the same written here to the local remote trail. So it means that you will tell the POM process not to transform the data. Take the data as it is and just send it like that on the target server. So when you guys will be configuring, you guys will notice that there is a parameter called pass through. It will be found somewhere. It's written like this, okay? I don't know why I should remove it, but it will be written like this, pass through. It will be found on the POM process unless you want to change or transform the data. The manager can have multiple parameters. Okay, she just added 1 or 2. Fine. It doesn't need a lot. Okay, but you can have more values. Okay, so just make sure that the port is fine, right? It's open, and she encrypted it, right? So that's why she put user alias. So that is what you can find on the directory parameter, right? grrprm. The next directory I will talk about is the directory report. It's one of the critical directories in Oracle Golden Gate because if your process fails or your process throws a warning on an error, you can grab it from this parameter, from this directory. Because this directory stores the parameter file of each process, the report file, sorry, of each process. So whenever you stop and start a process, a new report file is generated. That's why you guys see multiple report files. Has been trying to troubleshoot and she's stopping, starting, and whenever you are trying to start the process, you generate a new report file. And the extension is .rpt. Okay? So every single process has its own parameter file. So the manager has a parameter file, sorry, the report file. The manager has its own report file, the extract has its own report file, and the POM process also has its own report file. But which one do you need? Make sure you grab the latest report file, okay? So let's take an example. We see here that we have multiple pom.rpt, okay? For instance, we have POM 14, POM 13, POM 12. The one you need to troubleshoot is the latest one. So which one is the latest one for the POM? Let me see. Battery low. Let me see that. Let me check. I think. Oh, that's charged. What's going on here? Let me charge it, please. Ooh. Oh God. All right. Hope you won. Okay. So the one you need, as I was saying, is the latest one, the most recent one to troubleshoot. Let's take for this POM process, for instance, is 1653, right? She has been working on this stuff. So if I want to troubleshoot the POM process, I will check this report file because it's the most recent one. If you check others, they are behind, right? For the POM process, right, they are behind. If you check, you will see that it's 1544, 1538. So make sure you grab the latest one to troubleshoot. Same thing for the extract. The extract process, which one is the latest report file? I think we have only one report, right? So this one is the one you may need to troubleshoot in case there's any failure. Same thing for the manager. So let's open another some report and see how it looks like. Let's take and assume that I want to view the report of the POM process. Okay. So I put it here. I can add, or I can more. Up to you guys. All right. So if you The first important thing on the report is that you can see the Golden Gate version, you can see the Oracle version, you can see the platform in which it's running. Okay, very, very important. Needed by Oracle. Whenever you have an issue with Golden Gate Oracle, Oracle needs those details in order to validate the version and to provide the right fix. So if someone asks you in an interview, how can you know the Golden Gate version? The easiest way is to open the report file and you will see that right from there. I'm telling you guys this because it's very complicated to know that without opening this file. So it's very easy when you just view any report file, you will see the version of the Golden Gate. You also see the platform. You also see the Oracle version. The software version is configured on. If you let's assume I want to troubleshoot, you go all the way down, you have information, okay? Information, you go down, whatever, all the detail you find, right? Info, and if, for instance, there's a warning, you can see here, for instance, there's a warning, right? See, I know why we have this warning, okay? She is asking key calls because she did not put assumed target depth. I figured that if you would want the pump process to capture the data as it is and send to the target, you need to put pass-through. Since she did not put pass-through, then she needs to specify another word, key calls. Maybe she wants to filter, then, okay? So that is just for an example of what you can find on the report file, okay? I will not talk more about it so that people will just have to copy and paste. So, I just wanted to show you guys that each process has a report file you can open. If the process is not starting, you can view the report, and sometimes the report can tell you why it's not working, okay? Why is it not running? Very important, guys, okay? So keep track of it. The report file is one of the most important files on Golden Gate, and all the reports are located under directory report for each process. So useful for troubleshooting. Another file for troubleshooting is the Golden Gate error log, right? So whatever you see here on the report file most of the time can also be found in the Golden Gate error log. It's like the alert log. So you view this file, you get very, very useful, you can get very useful information on why it's not working properly. That's part of troubleshooting, okay? I will show you guys later how to approach an issue on Golden Gate. So I was talking about report file. The other directory I talk about is, keep track of this directory, make sure it's not full. Anyway, if it's full, this is where temporary operations are taking place. And I already talk about the wallet, okay? Those are just some script. They do multiple things, okay? You want to remove session, you want to do a lot of stuff, set up DGL, disable DGL, enable DGL, all those stuff, you can do that from here. You can get the SQL script for that. You can open the script and try to understand what is inside. We also have some tools, the GGSCI. That is the tool you guys, okay. This one is deprecated, the DevGen, okay? The DevGen has been replaced by the key calls. It's part of what I asked you guys to research on. The DevGen has been replaced by the key calls, okay? Very important whenever the source and the target table have different structure. Okay, because I told you guys that you may decide to replicate only a column or multiple column of a table. So if the target table doesn't have the same structure, then you need to specify key calls in order to filter only the columns you need. So that it replaced the DevGen because the DevGen was really complicated to set up, and it was a lot of issues using the DevGen. So even though you see that here, but people don't use it anymore. The GGS, these are just the executable of each process. Whenever you want to start the process, stop the process, okay, there's a tool here to execute. Like you can see the manager executable file script, the replica. Okay, so this one helps for the extract and the pump. So the DGSCI is that tool that helps you to log into Oracle Golden Gate. All right, if you want to manage Golden Gate, you can use this tool to log in. I will talk about the GGSR, the log, which is a Golden Gate error log for any error. And I want everyone to get comfortable with that as well, to have it handy. You have the globals first. That's where I told you guys that you can change default configuration. If you don't want your credentials store fees to be stored in this default location, you can change it from the globals. Okay. Same thing for any other file. We also have the keygen. The keygen is just, for secure connectivity most of the time, because this keygen can help you to generate keys. I use the keygen a lot when it comes to connecting to the cloud. It's the same thing you want to connect to the other server. Let's take an example. You guys, whenever you guys are trying to connect to Poly, it's not secure, it's not encrypted. So you can create keys so that whenever you log into Poly, okay, the connection is secure and you can easily transfer data from that location to another location. So keygen is the tool that can help you to generate private keys and public keys, okay, for secure connectivity. So the public key is what sometimes we load on the target server, and the private key we stay on the source. So whenever you want to do SSH, okay, to the target location, those keys ensure security, okay? So I don't want to talk too much about it, but just know that this is a tool that helps to generate keys for security connectivity reasons. I don't know anything about any other SO file. I just know about the lockdown utility we talk about to read transfer file. All right. You can also patch Golden Gate or patch. Okay. The OUI is for the installation. You can install Golden Gate. You can call the OUI from the Golden Gate home. So you go to there, you execute the script and configure Golden Gate. And that is valid only on 12C, right? Because on 11G, we don't have OUI Golden Gate installation. Everything is manual. And a lot of things, okay. So I think apart from that, just other script for role and other stuff. That is what some of the important directories and files you can get from Oracle Golden Gate. Now, okay. So so make sure you have these subdirectories, okay? And we talk about this. So any question on this before I move on to something else? Before I log into Golden Gate and we play around with that. Any question? No question, guys? All right. So you guys don't have any question. Okay, so let's move on to something next step. So the next step for me will be to log into Oracle Golden Gate itself, okay, in order to navigate and see how it's working, okay. So to log into Golden Gate, you have two options. You can log in from the Golden Gate home, so they can call the tool. And once you do like this, you are logged in. If you want to connect to the database through Golden Gate, because the database is you know, the database is the Golden Gate doesn't reside in the database, right? Golden Gate resides on its own home. So in order for Golden Gate to connect to the database, there's a user that should be created, and that user needs some privileges. And that user is the one our classmate called GG user. That's the one you specify. So this is the user you need to connect to the database. So let's GB login. Okay, user ID. Put the user ID. Password. She used the same password. All right. So sometimes if the database is down, we investigate, okay? But this one is different. I think the database is not up. I think she's not connected. I think I'm not connected to the database, okay? Connected to the database, so I may need to connect to the database first. And the source database was called source. She called the source database source. Now that I'm connected to the database, I can now get back to Golden Gate and try the same command and see. Now I'm connected, right? So this is how you connect. So now, as you see here, this user now already accessed the database. So it's ready to capture. So there are some few commands, okay? See all the processes running, their status, info all is the command. And from it, you can see the manager, the extract, and the pump. Normally, she should have one pump, right? But because maybe one of them was not working, she created another one to troubleshoot. So you can see here that the old pump she tried to configure is this one. The new pump is this one, okay, and the extract. So you have four stages. You have four stages. The process can be the process can be stopped. Sorry, I was looking for the word. Stopped, starting, running, abandoned. Four stages. So again, the four stages are stopped. Each process, right? Either is stopped. It means something happened and stopped, right? Or you stopped manually. Starting, it means that you are starting it. You are trying to start it, right? You will be starting. Once it is started, it becomes running. In case it fails, it becomes abandoned. In an interview, they may ask you these four stages, okay? You need to know that. So a process can have these four, and you should know the difference. So stop, it means maybe you stop it on purpose. Starting, it means that, you just try to start it and it's starting. After starting, it should become running. If it doesn't come to running, it will go back to stop, okay? Or it can become abandoned. Abandoned means it failed. The process failed for a particular reason, due to a particular reason, okay? So, so this is where you see each process, okay? And some command like info manager, info, you can see info, not, okay. Yeah, that's why I don't like this one. Yeah. So, okay. That's the one. So, it just tell you that the ID of the manager, the process ID, and the port, the manager port, okay? So this process ID can also help you to grep at the OS level, grep the manager from the OS, from the OS system. You can also get the info of the extract process, okay? Info extract, Okay, it will help you to know whether there is a classic or integrated. Classic is Oracle Redo-Log, but if it's integrated, you will see Oracle integrated Redo-Logs. Okay. So
Mr. Gaston,
yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a concern.
Yeah.
Okay, you said what would happen if the Oracle home the golden gate of my source and my database is in different direction. What would happen?
Nothing will happen.
Okay, so it's not going to affect anything.
Nothing, no, not at all.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Just make sure that in your POM parameter file, you
Yes.
specify the right directory. Okay, that's the only thing.
Okay.
Because on the POM parameter file, you need to specify the remote host, the remote trail. So if the target Golden Gate home is different, make sure you also specify the right one here. That's it. Nothing wrong. Okay. All right. What else? So you want in-depth details regarding the extract, you put now info extract detail. Extract name, sorry. Info extract, you put the extract name, you put detail. Now you have more details. Okay. You can see as well the first part was the only one we got before. Okay. If there's any lag, there's no lag, right? 0, 0, that means the extract is working. The extract is able to capture and write. Okay. The lag comes when the lag is at what level? At this level. What's the difference? The time difference while capturing and while writing here. So how long does it take to capture and to write? So if it's taking the time to write here, there will be a lag. So that's the checkpoint lag. That's what you see here. Okay, so you can see the process ID. You can see, it's reading from the online Redo, right? You can see the SCN number is reading from. You can see the sequence number 15, okay, from the Redo-Log. You can see the trail file where it's writing to, okay? But the sequence number is 0. It means that if the trail file was active, you will see here 1. So if it was writing on the second trail file, you see 2 and 3. So this number just means that what is the IG of the trail file. Remember, she had a trail file, but it was not good, right? It was 000. And I said that it was supposed to be 00001, for instance. So it means that the sequence number will be 1. If the second one is created, it will be 2 and so on. I'll talk about this one next time. And the maximum megabyte is the maximum size for each trail file. So she created it as the maximum file is 100 megabyte, but you can increase it all the way to, you can increase it up to 1 gigabyte. So each thread file will have a maximum size of 100 megabyte for our scenario. And you can see here the extract source. It is reading from the online Redo 03 of the database. The last time you read was this date, right? And it stopped reading this date. It started this date and it's still reading up to this date. I think she's working on it, or is working, maybe she's working on it now. And what is also important is that this command provides all the directory you need, okay, for this particular process. That's why I focus more on this particular directories. So you can see here that it tells you the default Golden Gate home, the report file. It means that if there's something wrong with this process, where you can go and check for errors. The parameter file, that is where you created the parameters. The checkpoint file, that is where the extract uses to keep track of, where it stopped reading from. The process file is what helps to check the status of the extract, and the error log is where you can also check any error. So this command is very, very important.
Okay, Mr. Gaita.
Yes, Mr. Kudi.
Should we create a subdirectory both on the source and the target?
Subdirectories, yes. Yes.
Okay, what about a port number? Like when we configure the manager, what if we use different port number?
Doesn't matter, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so at the same time, I'm also pasting, some command I'm running so that, can help you. Some command that are not familiar yet. This one you don't need it. Okay, so I just need to. I'll be running multiple other commands. These are just basic ones. So info all is one of the commands you should know. There's info all again to see each process running. Info, you can put info, if you put the process name, but I put the second one, it's up to you. You can put the first one, the second one, it's up to you. So info, put the process name, or you can put info detail. You want more detailed information, okay? Put info, you put the, not this one did not work. So this one, the one that worked. So you put info detail. Okay, you will have more detail. But if this one works for each process, so if it's pump process, you put the pump name. Replica, you put the replica name. Okay, like I did for the manager and extract. All right, so you can get the process name from this column, right? This ext1, and that's the one I use ext1. Some people can do info extract, whatever. Okay, some people can add info. You put extract ext1 detail. So you see that just one more keyword is added. Otherwise, you can remove it. It's fine. It does the same thing. All right. There's no difference. So this command is important again, right, to get some details. But how can you know what the process is actually doing? So how many record the extract recently captured? What are the record? What are the GML and so on, the extract captured? So the start command, all right, you can issue start, you put the extract name. You will see the last, operation performed by this extract. Last, which one is the latest? The total. This is daily, hourly. This is the latest statistics, the latest detail. So at this time, this was the latest information we got. And the total number of insert, have 3 insert, no update, no delete. So we see that here we can see that this extract perform was able to capture 3 insert. This one is just, the hourly statistics and the daily statistics, okay? So, but the itself, the total is 3, okay? Which is 3 insert. So focus on the last part. You can also see this, that's a summary of each of the GML that this process was able to capture. That is what can help you to troubleshoot for each process. Let's assume you perform an insert. You come and check if the insert was captured by the extract. In order to even see what the extract is doing right now, you can also, send extract. You put the extract name. show trans, okay? And once you do this command, if the extra is capturing data, you will see real life what it is capturing. Now it's nothing, right? Because it's not active. Okay. So, but if it's capturing, you will see right away what is capturing using this command. Okay. So I show you stats. Stats helps for the extract, for the POM, for the replica. So it means that let's assume you guys are trying to troubleshoot. You don't know which process is not working, which process is not doing its job. So I just perform stat extract. I saw 3, right? Let me also perform stat POM and see, right, if the POM is also was able to transfer these 3 insert. I also issue stat. The POM name. This is the POM, right? You can see here that this POM was able to capture these 3. It means her POM process is working. It's doing great, right? It's working okay. So she will test it some more time and see if it's really working, right? If it's still capturing. So you can see that what the extract was able to capture, the POM process was also able to capture. So you will do that for the replicate in order to know which process is not doing its job. That's why I like Golden Gate, because you can see real life, test it and see which one is not transporting the data and which one is transporting the data. All right. So that is a few commands. So whatever I specify here is valid for each process. I put stats, if whatever, you can do that for every process. Okay. From here as well, you can view your parameter for each process. View param, okay, the extract. The parameter from here. If you want to edit, you can edit param. All right, you just put edit param. You just edit. You can edit from here. Okay, I don't want anything on it. So you can view or you can edit from Golden Gate. All right, or if you want to do it outside, you do it outside. Whatever you want, up to you. You can also view the report. The report, right? You can view the report from here. You can just do view report. You put ext1, and you show you the report. Just try to enter more, all the way down there, and if there's anything wrong, you will identify it. So that is what is changed. So if you want to, okay. So so you can view the parameter, you can view the report. Okay. So view param is a command of the paste as well. View param, you can do that. You can edit the parameter every single process. Okay, this command work for each process. All processes, you can view the report of all the processes from here. I don't like to view report because you fill up the screen, right? Better for me, I just open VNCP and view it. Or even on here, you fill up the screen, it looks crazy. So this command, as I said, right, is valid for everything, for every single process. It's valid for every single process. Okay. Oh, what else? What else? Okay. So since I'm logged into the database, okay, and she's trying to, okay, I told you guys that this user you created, you grant some privileges to the user, all right, the database. So that's part of the steps you guys will be performing. You may also, oh, 1 second. I don't know why this thing is doing like this. So I'll say this user is created with some privileges, and you guys have do some prerequisite. Okay, support force login, supplemental login. You guys enable supplemental login at the database level. You also have to enable supplemental login at the Golden Gate level. Okay, so help translator, and you do that, by viewing, by seeing that you should add translator. Okay, info translator. So if you want a table that has constraint to be replicated, you should add translator on that table. Okay, info translator, and you specify the table name. You put hr.test. You will see from this command whether supplemental login is enabled for the table. Here that supplemental login, do log data is enabled for the table. Okay, if it's not enabled, you add translator, you enable it. Right? You can also see that column supplemental log for table. You see that the supplemental login is enabled for each of these columns. So if one of them is primary key column, supplemental login is enabled for that as well. This is for table translator. If it's for schema, it's schema translator. Let's assume you want to replicate an entire schema, right? The schema is HR. Check if it's enabled. You will see that an info supplemental login is disabled for the entire schema. So it means that what she did was just table translator. If you want everything on the schema to be replicated by Golden Gate, you need to add schema translator instead of the regular translator. So she will issue a command like this. This is the command she issue. Add translator hr.test. That's what she did. Right? That's what she did. It's already added, okay, because it's already performed. You can see here that you're on an error, right? Yes, it will not work again because she did not put that. But I think the command looks like this. Add translator, you put like this, okay? Okay, so okay, supplemental login, column, GGL duplication. Okay. So same thing for schema translator, okay? You do add schema translator, you put HR, okay? If you want to disable it, you do delete schema translator or delete translator. I think those are some few things you need to check. Golden Gate level. Okay. So how will you know now? Okay, again, right? The troubleshooting goes from the left to the right. So let's assume as I did for her here. I want to open both terminals like I did in the morning. Okay. I want to see if the application is working. All right. Because everyone will get into this. So let's assume I want to check. This is how we test it, right? You connect to the database. You select maybe, right? You can select count. You can select whatever the column you want, right? Count from hr.test. Assume this one has 13, and you added new rows to see if the extract is capturing and send it across the network and so on. Go to the target server. Call the target database target, okay? Let me see. Maybe she deleted it in order to restart Golden Gate configuration. Oh, it's the same server. Anyway, yeah, okay. I remember I just SSH to that server. Okay, the server name again, 78. So this is the target server is 78, okay? So, so slash dot bash. Oh, she called it target. You may also do the same select, right? Here, for instance, 0. So you see here that the count is different. Now, let's assume we are on the target, right? Let's see if the replica is working, all right? So we already set up the environment. Let's go to the Golden Gate home, okay? The Golden Gate home. This is one of the fastest. And just, connect to Golden Gate, all right? All to see all the processes. For instance, the replica is not working. The lag 36 minutes, very huge. So she still to work on it, okay? But with this one, you can see that the replica is stopped. But let's assume, okay? Let's assume all of them are running. That means extra is running, manager is running, pump is running on the source, and the target manager is running, and the replica is running. If all of them are running, it doesn't mean that all of them are working. You can see them like this, running, but it doesn't mean it's working. So the first step for you guys in Golden Gate troubleshooting is to make sure that all of them are running first. The status is running. Okay, that's the first step. Now you will come on the source and you will test, right? You will see if you compare the count. If the count is not the same, the troubleshooting starts from the left to the right. What does it mean by that? You start by checking the extract process. Go to the extract report file, the GDS, okay, to know if there's something wrong. If the extracts, okay, or you can also use the stats command, right? That means you come on the source, maybe you perform another insert. You insert 2 more records, right? You jump to 15, okay? And once you insert, let me take an example. Let's assume I have, this amount of record. Let me, describe HR.test. If I remember, EB. Anyway, I don't want to make it. And let's see. Let me just take, something simple, right? Hello. Bakatu, bakatu, bakatu. Okay. Anyway. Anyway, it's back. Okay. So let me see. Let me try take others. Okay. So let me take one string. So let's enter like that. Let's do like that twice. Okay. All right. Okay. I don't commit. I will not commit first. Okay, because I know what I'm doing that. So if you select the count, it's 16 now, right? And what happened is what is if I don't commit, the extract should not capture it, right? Because if I do start, extract cannot capture that one. You can see it's still at the same tree. So what happened is let's go and commit this transaction and see. All right. So maybe since I exited, maybe it went. Okay. Okay. There. So let me just type commit. Okay. Right. I can call commit one. And let me go back to my golden gate and see if the extract is working. All right. So I'm connected to golden gate. That's ext1. You see that the tree insert, it captured the tree insert. So I'm sure 100% that my extract is fine. Initially it was 3, but now it jumped to 5. So and the same thing for update delete. You see here it's working. So I do the same thing. Let's check the pump. What's the name of the pump? Info all. That's why I say left to right. So the pump is pump 1. So that pump 1 is working. You move, jump from 3 to 6 as well. So it means my pump is fine. It's working. So it means my is able to capture, and so now the only issue for her will be to troubleshoot this replicate, make sure the replicate can run, and she will issue the same command on the replicate. She will also do the same command. She will also do like this and see it's not even running, right? And she will see whether the replica is able to take it. That's the easiest way of troubleshooting Golden Gate to know whether it's capturing or not. All right, so that's why I say the troubleshooting starts from the left to the right. So if you select the count or you see that there's some records missing on the target database, don't start checking the replicas first. Check the extract, then you check the pump. Check the extract first, then you check the pump, then you check the replica. From left to right. Never do the reverse, okay? Unless it's bidirectional. So I'll stop here. All right. Any question? What I did? Any question? Any question? All right, if there's no question, we can disconnect. You don't need to stay here, okay? All right.
So we are still digesting. We have not gotten to that state to what we have displayed today.
I know, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
So,
cool.
You're right.
Anyway, yes, right. No problem. I understand. So, um, let's meet on Friday. If there's anything, okay? If nothing,
okay. So I have one quick question.
sure.
So I was able to configure the Golden Gate on my server, but I didn't want to use I didn't want to use someone else's server until when we do it on the group. So I don't know if there is a way I can do it. Then I uninstall it.
You can uninstall it, right? You can uninstall it. See, this location, I think I specified the location where you can uninstall Golden Gate. You will see a install directory there as well. You will see directory to uninstall it here. Okay? You also a install script, so you can install it if you want to.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, no problem.
Got I have a question.
Okay, guys. Yes, please.
When I downloaded the Golden Gate and I tried to run the run install on PuTTY, but it failed. Is there any?
Downloaded it?
You can't do it on PuTTY. Why didn't you do it on VNC?
Yeah. That's why I switched to VNC. But I was wondering if there's any tool I need to install to be able to run it through like we did the Xmin.
Me, I use Xmin. PuTTY doesn't have graphical interfaces. People use mobile extend. Okay. Me for with PuTTY, I install a tool called Xmin. And if I want to call any graphical user interface from PuTTY, I just now have to make sure that this application is running. That's it. Otherwise, you cannot call any graphical user interface from PuTTY. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I use Xmin if I want to do that. But if it's slower, right, than if you were going through VNC, because it's a third-party application, so you have to set up, you have to perform future connection, and if you have a bad network, it will take more time to access the server itself.
You mentioned the mobile extend. How does it work?
Some people have it, okay? They download it and install it. Some of you have it, right? I saw some people presenting here with mobile extend. I haven't used it. I don't use it even. But some people they just download it, and I don't know how they set it up. They can tell you. I think they are part of this class, right? So they can tell you how to do that. I think I saw maybe Mr. Fadi one day. I don't know. I don't remember if Mr. Fadi or someone else. The last group that presented, I saw them, a lot of them are using mobile extend. So you can download it and use it as well. It's free.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, I don't know if it's available on Ninite. No, Xmin is available here, but mobile extend, I don't know. There are a lot of tools here, but yeah, you can find some of them here. Remember Xmin, I grabbed it from one of these websites. All right, yeah. So anyone here install mobile extend, right? Install mobile extend. Any student here, you can help your classmate if he's interested. Okay. I don't even know where I got that Xmin. I know Xmin, I grabbed it from Google. I did not get it from here. I got it from their website, xmin.com. So
yeah, all you need to do is just download the mobile XM app, and Once it downloads it, it can just go to the SSH and do section, put in its IP address, and for the port, it's going to be the port number, and that's all.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, you can watch more video on YouTube. You'll see that it's very all this stuff I found everywhere. So any other question for me? Another question? All right, guys. So thank you for your time today. I say if Friday you guys have something for me, I will try to answer. If not, we spend less time together. Okay. So see you guys on Friday. Okay. Thank you.
Yo, Mr. Patrick,
Yeah, below.
how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. And you?
I'm okay. I'm okay, man.
How you progressing
With this,
with the work, homework?
man, this